All right, first graders, in this unit, we are going to be looking at realistic fiction. Realistic fiction is when a story seems like it could actually be real. These stories have made up characters, but these characters and adventures that they have could really happen in real life. Two examples that you are probably familiar with are Henry and Mudge and Junie B. Jones. Both of these stories are made up, but they could happen in real life. You are already so good at playing pretend, and that's basically what realistic fiction is. You create bakeries with Legos, and you have school time during recess. These are examples of things that could happen in real life, but you made it up. So when we have realistic fiction, what you have to do is you have to imagine a pretend character, just like Cynthia Rylant imagined Henry and Mudge. They're pretend characters, but she made them seem real. There's a couple things that you do when you imagine these characters. First thing you do is you imagine pretend things about that character. You imagine where the character is, what the character does, and especially the trouble that that character gets into. We're going to look at that today. So the first thing that I'm going to imagine is a name and a place. I need to imagine a character. So right now in my head, I'm thinking about a character. I want you to pause and think, what character could you create today? After you thought about the character that you want, you can think about their name and a place. So I'm going to think, when I was younger, I wanted to live in the woods. So I'm going to imagine a girl who has a tree fort in the woods. And I always thought the name Gretchen sounded like somebody who would play in the woods and have a tree fort. So I'm going to make my character a girl, and her name is Gretchen. And most of her adventures are going to happen at her tree fort. So now I've imagined a name and a place for these adventures to happen, okay? So you could think about a bunch of possible places. And that's okay if you are thinking about a lot. But for right now, you need to choose just one place. It's really great if it's a place you already know a lot about and are really familiar with. That will make it easier to write about. So right now, sit where you are. Put a thumb up at your chest when you know who your character is, what their name is, and what the place is going to be where their adventures happen. All right, the next step after you have those things are we need to think, I have to think of some trouble that Gretchen might get into. What kind of trouble could she get into? Well, if I think about a tree fort, I'm picturing a tree fort with a girl in it. Maybe Gretchen got in trouble by falling out of the tree fort, or she could get stuck up there, or maybe she forgot the time, or, I know, maybe Gretchen found a hurt animal. That's definitely a trouble that Gretchen could run into. She found a hurt animal. So what I'm going to do after I've thought of my trouble, I'm going to hold up my hand and I'm going to think, I need to tell this story across my fingers just like we did when we wrote small moment stories. You can either tell it across your fingers or you can tell it and you touch and tell the pages in your book. So I'm picturing the scene. Gretchen found some kind of animal who is hurt near her fort. So as I tell the story across my finger, my first finger, I'm going to say, first, Gretchen heard the sound of an animal, and she came closer. Next, she realized it was a bird, and she was afraid it might peck her. Then, she decided to be brave. Finally, she scooped the bird in her sweater, and then she went home to ask for help. Okay. So now you can do the same thing. You've thought of your character. You've thought of the trouble that they're going into. hold up your hand or the pages of your book. Pause the video and tell your story across your fingers. You can tell it to someone else in the room with you, or you can just say it out loud to yourself. Either way, I want you to say it out loud. Okay, you did that? Awesome. One thing I wanted to remind you is when we're telling a story like this, we zoom in on one small moment. Remember talking about this at the beginning of the year? We don't look at the whole watermelon. We zoom in on the one seed of the story. I'm not going to tell you about Gretchen's whole day. I'm going to tell you about that one moment where she found that tiny bird and how she helped it. Okay? Let's see. We need to remember the steps of how to get started. So one, what we're going to do is imagine our character. My character was Gretchen. I gave her a name and a place. She has her tree fort. The third thing we do is we think about the trouble the character could get into. Well, for Gretchen, she's going to find a hurt bird. And fourth, I'm going to rehearse my story across my fingers. One thing you need to remember is don't put every trouble you can think of into one story. Zoom in on one trouble. Don't put all of the things that we said. I said Gretchen could fall out of the tree, she could get stuck, she could lose track of time. But notice I only included the one trouble in the story, the one trouble about the bird. If I want to keep writing stories about Gretchen later on, I could write a different story about the time she lost track of time in the treehouse or the time she fell out. So these are your steps one more time. You start by making up a pretend character. You give the character a name and a place. The next thing you do is you imagine their adventures. Imagine the ways that they get into big trouble. The next thing you do is you touch and tell across the pages or across your fingers. Your last step is to sketch and write. All right, first graders, let's get started writing. I can't wait to see the characters you create and the trouble they get into. I know that you're going to be writing a lot of sentences on many pages. All right, writers, get started.